The fourth scenario is the two round scenario. This is the fitting that PractiCAD should use and the parameters of that fitting if in fact we need to use a square to round or round to square. Notice on the left we have a round neck grill and we're going to attach it to a rectangular piece of duct. Now what we're going to do here is show you what we've chosen for duct side. Under duct side we have said that if it's a round neck grill we would like to use a 45-degree boot tap. And we're going to hard line to it, meaning we're going to use hard duct. So if we're going to use a 45-degree boot tap as a tap, and we're going to try to use hard duct and attach to a round neck grill, at some point we're going to need a square to round fitting. You can see here that it says add to neck size 6 inches, so we know the width out of the boot tap is going to be 6 inches larger than the grill's neck, and we're going to start with the 45-degree boot tap. And then what we're going to do is say under the route tab, if we need rectangular duct, and we will need rectangular duct because we're going to route from an angled boot tap, which is a rectangular fitting. If a square to round is needed, we're going to pick the fitting we'd like to use. So in this tutorial, we're going to come in and say, let's choose the finished length square to round. Now we're going to choose all the parameters, and they're very similar to the ones in the earlier exercises. We're going to say, do we need to use a catalog square to round? Here we're going to say no. Do we want a minimal length? We're going to say the minimal length of our square to round should be 24 inches. Most of the time, if we put a value here, PractiCAD is going to make sure that the square to round is exactly 24 inches. Now we're going to say for minimal straight in and minimal straight out, we don't need them to be set at anything. And maximal offset to width and depth ratio. Here we're going to set them to 1 and 1. We're actually routing direct to the grill, so the square to round should not offset at all. But square to rounds are transitions, and they can offset. And if you would like them to be able to offset by a specific width or depth ratio, you can put in the proper values here. Once again, there are separate tutorials on exactly how to use maximal offset and depth width ratios. Now we're going to say OK. When we do that, you can see that PractiCAD has started the route with an angled boot tap. Then it's chosen a square to round at the minimal length, 24 inches. It's switched it to spiral pipe, and now it's routed hard duct all the way to the grill. So this is a good way to demonstrate how to use the two round scenario. If we were to do this in reverse, from round duct to a rectangular neck grill, we would use a round to square fitting, the inverse of a square to round.